Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is all about my New Year's goals and resolutions and how I'm going to achieve them. So stick around if you want to find out. So last week's vlog was actually kind of technically part of my goals. So I've broken it up into goals and resolutions, even though technically sort of they all kind of intermingle. So my first one was definitely for 2022 was to get my fabric stash organized, decluttered, and get some money back into the bank by selling it. So I've kind of got those two goals intermingled. So I've done one half, which is what you saw last week. Then I've booked in a market. I'm going to be going and I'm hopefully going to recoup some funds, and so I can keep buying some more fabric. My other goal is to learn some embroidery. Now I have this little project in mind. I don't want to tell you guys because I kind of want to keep it a bit of a secret. So I'm going to start learning some embroidery, and hopefully if it all goes well, then I'm going to finish this project of mine. I think you guys are going to really like it. But yeah, I just need to learn some basics. I don't want to go too crazy. That is one goal. I have a specific design in mind, so I don't know whether or not I should just learn that design and just be done with it, or if I really want to dig down into it. My nana on my dad's side actually used to do tapestry, so you know, I feel like it's kind of in my blood to do kind of that needlework, but problem is I don't have the patience for it, so I don't know. We'll see. Another little goal is to do some more challenges, and one of the challenges I've heard about is Make 9. Now, Make 9 is, I haven't really fully looked into it, but I think it's generally what you do is you choose 9 things to make, but throughout the whole year. But for me, I've decided that I'm gonna make 9 things, but I'm going to try 9 new companies. So throughout the whole year, I'm going to make sure that I'm trying a new company. I have my favorites, and I'm sure everyone has their favorites, but you don't find new favorites by continually going back to your favorites, do you? So that is another goal. Now, technically, that's all my goals. Technically. For me, the goals are the more achievable things, the more concrete things, the more measurable things. So I've said I'm going to do this, and then I can tick it off. So things that you can tick off. Whereas resolutions is more like the theme, I suppose. So part of my decluttering and my selling sort of fabric, the fabric issue, because let's be honest, I have a little bit of an issue. I say I'm a collector, but we all know that I'm really just a hoarder. So to try and reverse that, I'm going to, for every new fabric that I buy, 2 pieces of fabric must come out of my current stash. Whether that be I decide that I'm going to sell another 2 because I've decided that's definitely not what I'm going with, or I decide that I'm going to make something. Technically, I want to make it so that I'm actually buying a piece of fabric and I'm making 2 things out of my stash, because at the end of the day, I did buy these fabrics with things in mind. Most of my fabric has some project in mind already. So I feel like 2022 is sort of me wanting to finish off a lot of things that I've started in the past. So yeah, so basically if I buy a new piece of fabric, which I already have this year, but it's with a specific project in mind for you guys, okay? So that will be coming, but because I've bought that one piece of fabric, I am now going to have to use 2 pieces out of my stash to do whatever. I probably will do maybe a couple of testers, so that, but then I could always like give them away, or yeah, things like that. So I have to make 2 things. So basically for every one thing that I buy, I'm going to end up making 3 things. Again, with that same sort of theme of finishing off things, I really want to try and use as many stash patterns that I have before I buy a new pattern. Again, you know, this is the theme, you know, and like this is the dream, but reality is sometimes these things don't happen. I'm not going to beat myself up about it if I desperately buy a pattern and, you know, things happen. But that's the aim, okay? The aim is to use as many of my own already stashed patterns as well. And like that doesn't mean like ones that I've already made. Like I'm talking about patterns that I've gone, oh my god, I really have to have that pattern, and then just haven't gotten around to making it. The aim is to actually do it. The girls are off having a bit of a pampering session at the moment anyway. By the girls, I mean my sewing machines. So while they're off having a sewing makeover, they're getting serviced, I'm thinking of all these great things that I can do and, you know, making all these plans, but then I'm like, no, like the whole point of this year is to really finish off those things. So I'm thinking what I might do is jump on my computer, print them off, sort of plan when I'm going to make them, because most of my patterns are for Lilah. So that's the other issue too, is because I have a child that I'm trying to clothe, children grow very quickly. So I do kind of need to plan so that I can plan the right size. So I'm not just printing them off and then going, printed off the wrong size. I could just print all of the sizes off and then when I get around to it, then cut out the right size. But I feel like that's a waste of ink. So I'd rather sort of just plan them. Plus, like, you know, we live in Melbourne, so our weather is crazy. Like today it's like 20 and really stormy looking, but like yesterday was like 30 and hot. So, and it's been hot for ages, so it's just crazy weather here. So, you know, like I have to think about things like dresses that are trans-seasonal quite a lot, but that's kind of what I do anyway. I like trans-seasonal things, especially for kids. Another resolution I'd really like to achieve is making more things with linen. Yes, this means I need to buy more linen. I have got one dress in mind for linen, which is actually this dress. This is the pattern Emporium Meet You There dress, and it is a woven pattern, super cute. I'll pop some photos up. I don't know if I've got any video, but if I do, I'll pop it in. And yeah, so this one that I'm wearing is actually the tester for that, because the linen I bought is beautiful, but it's expensive. So I wanted to make sure that I got the right fit, that, you know, like if there was any other things that like maybe I didn't like the length of my sleeve. So yeah, so make more things with linen, more dresses, more or less. I would love to make a romper. I have the sea change in mind to make in linen. So these things will probably be what I'll wear next summer. So if I don't get them done now, I'll be able to wear them in summer next year. But I don't plan on changing my size anytime soon. So it's not so bad if I make things now for next summer for myself. Whereas if I make things for Lilah now, they're definitely not going to fit it. The whole 9 companies that I want to try, I want to make sure that I'm also getting new skills. So, you know, like I know how to do a zipper, but like I'm not like really good at it. Like I wouldn't be able to be like, oh yeah, I can put it in a zipper without reading how to do it. So I really want to be able to really hone in my skills and really consolidate any of my techniques and skills, and learning things, you know, a little bit more in depth. You know, I really want to up the ante a little bit more. I'm still really a beginner. Like I'm probably an advanced beginner really now. I can read a pattern and I can generally get the idea, but I just really want to start upping the game and, you know, start getting those intermediate sort of techniques and skills, you know. So that's another resolution. I do have a little bit of a wish list of things that I really want to make. Something that I've had on my wish list for like a long time. I haven't got the pattern. It is the fringe dress by Chalk and Notch. I made their wren dress for Lilah and I and loved it, and their instructions were really good, so I was really happy with that. So I'd really love to make the fringe. It's got like button details and just, it's really cute. Yeah, it's a really beautiful dress. It's a very popular dress, I believe, as well. But that's on my wish list to make. We'll see. Another one in my stash already is the sage dress. I really want to make that for Lilah. I think it's going to be gorgeous. So that's on the wish list. Also, maybe some bathers. I would like to make bathers for myself and for Lilah. I have looked at the toddler patterns. They've got like the breeze bathers. They look quite good, so they could be a good one. So Waves and Wild, previously known as Made by Jack's mum, they brought out a bra, and they actually said a lot of people had done it for bathers, and that looks super cute. I reckon that would be a really good one. I struggle with buying the top and a bottom set because I am a completely different, like I'm like 2-3 sizes difference when I make patterns from my bust to my hips. So for me to be able to make a top and then make my own bottoms will be amazing. So that's a bit of a goal for myself, or yeah, that's on my wish list definitely, is to eventually make them and make Lilah a pair. Maybe make a matching set, maybe not, we'll see. Also from Waves and Wild, I would love to make their sandcastle bucket hat. I have been wanting to make this for so long. We'll see. I have the pattern already, so that again would be ticking off one of my goals already. But yeah, that would be really good. I have so many things on my wish list from years ago and then like you look at the pattern companies and then you just add more and more things onto those wish lists, and it grows so much, you know. That is kind of the joy of sewing, is, you know, looking for that pattern and then going, oh, I love that pattern, I want to find the fabric, or finding that fabric and then finding the pattern. So it, you know, like I don't want to constrict myself too much, because that is part of the joy, the whole point that I find joy out of the creative process, not just the sewing aspect. So that's why I sew. It's the creativity that I get, and I get so excited about it. It's a bit silly, but I'm sure you can relate. Lastly, on my wish list from previous years are pajamas. So So for Easter, we usually have that change of season, and we usually buy pajamas for the kids from Rooster Bonnie. I think pajamas would be a really good one to do for Easter. I have some old bed sheets, some old flannelette bed sheets, like the flat sheets. So I'm thinking I'll make a pair out of those for Lilah and myself. I'm thinking little matching set, that'd be cute. I'm not a huge like pajama wearer. Like I usually just wear a t-shirt or something like that to bed. But we'll see. I have been really enjoying wearing pants, especially like, if you saw one of my posts from Instagram, I do wear pants, but yeah, just not all the time. Go back and have a look at my Instagram. You'll understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, I would really like to make a pair of pajama pants, and Patterns for Pirates, they have a free pajama pair of pants, or even shorts. Like, yeah, so they are on my wish list. And again, they're already in my stash of patterns. So again, ticking off some things. So anyway, that's really it. I just wanted this to be a short, sweet one for you guys. Yeah, I hope it brings you a bit of inspiration, and I'd love to hear what your goals are and your resolutions. Is it a resolution? I hope I'm saying the right word. I think I had written revolution? No, maybe it is oh my goodness, now I don't know. How embarrassing. Anyway, let's not worry about that. I will speak to you guys next week. I actually haven't got anything planned for next week, so we'll just have to wait and see what we come up with. I'll speak to you then. Don't forget to like and subscribe though, as always, as well, guys. See ya.